Hey guys, Sak here from sakitech, and in today's video what we are going to do is we are going to be sharing first things to do on your Samsung Galaxy Z Fold 7. So let's quickly dive in and maximize your ownership of this fantastic smartphone. By the way guys, if you decide to buy the Samsung Galaxy Z Fold 7, links to buy it at the lowest pricing and maximum incentives is going to be down below. Details of the discounts are going to be in the description box. Alright, so one of the first things that you want to do is you want to control your control panel. So when you pull down from the corner over here, where you see the battery percentage, it's going to bring down the control panel. And I also want to let you know you can swipe to the right, and that's going to bring the notifications, and then you can also swipe back to the control panel. Additionally, with the control panel, you are able to extend this to access all your quick toggles. It's like a little curtain. And if you want to edit this, you simply tap on edit right over here, and you can see right now I can take any one of these components, these rows, and I can move them up or down. It's all going to be based on your specifications. Now, I recommend having this on the top under Wi-Fi and Bluetooth, or even above that if you want. And after doing that, tap on edit, and that's going to allow you to control your quick toggles to edit them to your specifications. This is something you're going to be using a lot, so it's best to have them properly ordered. So let's say I don't need this right here. I just remove it. I remove this. If I don't want this, I just remove it. And they go down over here under the available area. And if I need something from here, let's just say as an example, I need this right here. I simply tap on it and it goes up to that area. Now, you grab this guy, press and hold, and drag it, and you can actually move it all the way to the top exactly where you want it. So when I tap on done, you'll notice, let me tap on done again, that button I just added is right there, easily accessible. So you want to strategically place all the quick toggles right over here that you know you're going to be using a lot. So that's great. Now on top of that, you can also tap on the edit button and go into the panel settings. And from panel settings, there's something really cool here. Look at this. I have the together option. Now with the together option, when I swipe from the top like this, it brings both the notifications and a little portion of the actual quick toggles as well as the brightness slider. And if I swipe down again, it exposes the full quick toggles. So you can either do it like that, or in my case, the way I like it, you tap on panel settings and you keep them separate. Now to keep them separate, the quick panel gets accessed from the corner right here, and the notifications do get accessed right from here. But as always, you can swipe over between either one of these guys. So fantastic. Modify this to your specification. Now, one more thing I like to do on all my Samsung phones is to have this widget right here on the screen. This is the optimized widget. So when I tap on it, it actually clears up the memory, does some storage refining, and optimizes my phone as you just saw. Let's tap that one more time. It's going to do some stuff in the background. It's going to say your phone has been optimized. So, just want to let you know, this is the same thing. If you go to your settings, and if you go over to device care right here, and if you go over to memory, and if you just tap on the clean now, it actually optimizes your phone. So this is the same thing, but I like having it right here as a quick toggle, so I can just tap on it to quickly freshen up the performance of my smartphone. So all you do is you pinch the screen, you go to widgets, and then you scroll down to device care right here, and you just grab one of these guys. You can see they have all these different options. Now if you get one of these guys, the one that has more detail, look at what that looks like. So it says I have 99 gigabytes of memory used, and I'm using 6.1 gigabytes of RAM. And again, as I use my phone, I can tap these anytime, and you can see it just cleared a little bit of that RAM, as you just saw, and that's going to boost the performance of my phone. Now, one of the reasons you purchase the Fold 7 is because of its upgraded camera. But if you don't know how to activate that camera, it's almost useless. So let me show you how to get that done. So what you do is you launch your camera, and by default, you're going to be in the photo mode. Now, pay attention. If I take a photo right now, it's going to be a 12 megapixel photo. But remember, you have a 200 megapixel sensor. So make sure, look over here on the top, it says 12M. You can tap on this guy and you can switch either to 50 megapixels for even better detail, or you can go all the way up to 200 megapixels. Now when I take a photo, it's going to be an extremely sharp and detailed photo. So you want to be aware of this option and make sure you use it selectively. Now for everyday shots, maybe you're at the store, you're taking a shot of your pet or your kids running around, you want to use the 12 megapixels. It's going to get you great quality. But let's say you're taking a photo of something that you really want to savor, maybe even print later. You want to go to 200 megapixels, like a nice, beautiful vista, nature, a building. It'll get you so much detail that you'll be able to tell the difference between the 12 and the 200 megapixels. Now 50 megapixels is going to be a nice blend of the two. It's a nice balanced option. Now something similar applies to the video as well. So if I go to my video mode right over here, I can tap over here and you can see if I ever want to record for whatever reason at the maximum quality, I can choose 8K video recording at 30 frames per second. That's going to get me a really detailed, clear video. One thing to keep in mind with the highest settings is when you do go to the higher setting and you take a photo or record a video, it does take more storage space. So that's why you do not want to use this all the time for everything, okay? Normal shots, 12 megapixels is fine. If you ever want to know how much storage space a given photo is wasting, you can go into your gallery, bring up the photo, and then swipe up. When you do that, you can see that this photo is 2.37 megabytes, and it was shot with 12 megapixels, and you get all these nice details, okay? Just something to keep in mind. If this was a 200 megapixel photo, this would have been 20 megabytes or even more. So that's how you can keep track if you want. All right, so the next thing that you want to do is you want to go to your settings right over here, and you want to scroll down and you want to completely personalize your phone by giving it a unique name. So go into About Phone, and then over here tap on Rename and give your phone a unique name. Let me just say Saki. And also notice that it says this name will be shown on other devices when your phone is available to connect using Bluetooth, Wi-Fi Direct, or other methods. So very nice way to identify the phone as you're connecting and also to customize it. Additionally, something really cool here that I love. If you have the blue shadow color or any fold color, it is going to reflect in the icon here. So my phone is the blue shadow color, so it shows the blue shadow Fold 7 icon right here. That is fantastic. Now the next thing you want to do is very, very important. You paid a lot of money for this phone. You want to make sure that the battery on this phone is actually a healthy battery, meaning it is not damaged in any way. So to do that, you want to quickly do this. By the way, the reason you want to do this is because if there's a problem with the battery, you want to quickly return and exchange. So here's what you want to do. You want to go to your application drawer and then go to Samsung Members application, which is always pre-installed on Samsung phones. Tap on Samsung Members. Once you're inside, what you want to do is you want to tap on this button right here, the three lines, and then go over to Support, and then go over to Phone Diagnostics, okay? Tap on Get Started, and it's going to actually, the first thing it's going to do is going to check the battery. It's going to start checking everything one by one, as you can see, automatically, and it's going to give you a check mark. What I'm going to do is I'm going to cancel that, but you can run the whole thing. That's even better. You can check the entire phone. So I'm going to say Stop Diagnostics, okay? I'm going to say cancel on this one for now, and here's all you want to do. Again, you can run all these tests, but it's going to take time. So I like to do the battery, which I think is very important, and here's what you want to look for. You want to look for normal, you want it to say life good, and you want to say capacity 4,400 milliamp hours. If that is all the same as this one, you are fine. This is a brand new, fully functional battery. Now the next thing you want to do is you want to go to your settings, okay? And you can see on the top, you have your Samsung account and your photo. You do want to tap on that photo it might look empty if you have never customized it, but this is the next step in customization. Just tap on it, and then you'll see the same photo right here in the corner. Tap on it, and now you're able to go to your gallery and you're able to customize that photo with anything. So here's a photo of mine. I'm going to use that as an example. Allows me to pick it. Beautiful split screen view because of the large display. But again, I tap on done and I tap on save, and that is going to be my avatar for my Samsung Galaxy account. It's going to show up across the board everywhere, as you can see. Now your phone looks much better. Now, the next thing that you want to do is you want to go to your settings, and this is going to be for protection of your phone from malware, spyware, and stuff like that. It also is going to be dependent on who you got your phone from. If you have an unlocked model like mine, you're going to see this option. So you scroll down and you go over to device care, okay? And at the bottom, there's an option that says app protection. By default, it is off. You want to tap on that guy. You want to turn the app protection on. You can see when you turn this on, it's going to be safe from malware and other suspicious activity. So I'm going to tap on turn on, and again right over here for confirm. And when you turn this on for the first time, you'll see it says last scanned never. So you want to quickly scan the phone to make sure there's nothing wrong with the phone. So I'm going to let this run. It is scanning every installed application on my phone. So let's see what kind of results we get at the end. All right, so we're almost done. It's going through every single application. At the end, it's going to say no threats found. So that was your first scan, and it's good to go. Okay, next step, you tap on the button right here, go to app protection settings, and make sure auto scan apps daily and auto scan when installing apps is turned on, so it will do that for you automatically. So now your phone is secure and safe from malware and viruses for free. All right, now the next thing I'm going to talk about is something that is pretty amazing. A lot of people miss this. So first, what you want to do, before you really get deep into your phone, you want to pinch the screen, go to settings, and then make sure the cover screen mirroring is off. When you turn this on, it mirrors what's on the outer display to the inner display. But that defeats the purpose of this phone. This phone is supposed to be two products in one. So you have a phone on the outside and you have a tablet, which is right here on the inside with the larger display. So when you have this turned off, by default it is on. So turn it off and apply. You are able to customize this home screen separately from the home screen on the outside. So you'll have your tablet layout and your regular phone layout on the outside completely different. On top of that, here's something amazing. Look at this. I have a wallpaper right here, okay? Now when I go on the outer display, by turning this off, you will notice that I do have a different wallpaper. Let me just log in real quick. You can see I have a different wallpaper. That is because the wallpaper on the inside and on the outside right here are in fact separate. So when I pinch the screen and go to wallpaper and style and tap on change wallpapers, let's say I want to pick something from my AI wallpapers right here. Let's just make something new really quickly. I want a building built from sapphire in green and teal. I'm going to tap on generate, get myself a brand new fresh wallpaper. And then when I apply that wallpaper, let me just pick the one that I want. This one looks nice. Tap on set. I'm going to say both lock and home screen. Tap on next. Boom. Now I have this wallpaper on the outside, as you can see, and also a different layout on the outside. Additionally, I have a wallpaper right here on the lock screen that is different. Okay, same as the wallpaper on the cover display. But look at this. When I unfold the device, I still have the other wallpaper on the inside. Additionally, I can have a different lock screen wallpaper on the inside as well. So I'm going to tap on the lock screen. I'm going to tap on change wallpapers. As an example, I'll just pick one of these guys right here. Let's just say this one. I'm going to tap on done. Okay, so now I have this wallpaper on the inside display for my wallpaper. And then on the lock screen, I have this guy. But when I fold the device, I still have different wallpapers. And I can also change these to fit my needs. So effectively, I can have 4 different wallpapers for 4 different areas. And additionally, like I said, I have a unique setup over here. So if I make changes to this setup right here, okay, it doesn't reflect to the inside. So my outer phone remains completely separate from my inner tablet. As you can see, this is a completely different layout. Fantastic. I do want to show you guys one exclusive feature I really enjoy, and this is only available on the Fold 7 right now, and it's a lock screen effect. So let me show you what I'm talking about. You go to the lock screen, customization screen. You tap right over here on the left, that's the lock screen. Okay, I'm going to bring in a wallpaper that's a little bit different. So let's go to my recent gallery. I'm going to grab this cat. So I'm going to tap it, and it's going to be right there. Now look at this. I'm going to actually look at just what happened. The clock shifted to the side and changed its design automatically based on the contours of the cat. So we have a subject and we have a background. The clock will change its shape based on the actual subject. So let me just change this real quick. I'm going to grab a different style. Let's go with this one. And then I'm going to go to font and color. I'm going to make sure I pick this option right here. You can see there's an animation. It is shifting up and down. So I'm going to tap on that. And then I'm going to resize this a little bit. And look at the way it just moves around. Just like that. Now, that's not the only thing. There is something amazing that happens at the lock screen. So I'm going to tap on done. And I'm going to go to the lock screen to show you what I'm talking about. Now, when I turn off the display by double tapping, look at this. We have the cat, it's zoomed in, okay? When I double tap to go to the lock screen, it zooms out a little bit, the background becomes all clear, and the clock shifts. So look at that. That is a beautiful effect, and I love it, okay? So that's something you can do, and again, you can do this with any image. You can do it with a person, another pet, any animal basically. So play with that, and I think you're going to love that. One more thing you can do is, again, if you go to the settings, and again, this is exclusive to the Fold 7. So if I go down over here to lock screen and AOD, and if I go to always on display, which is turned on by default, I have this brand new erase background option. So look at what happens. So now I have the shifting clock and the erase background. So let's see what that looks like. So look at this. The background gets erased. The cat zooms in. When I double tap it, the cat zooms back. The background comes into existence. And you have the shifting clock on top of that. So multiple effects in one make it look pretty amazing. Okay? And that's just an example. Like I said, you can do this with any compatible image. Now the next thing you want to do is you want to customize your taskbar, which is going to be at the bottom here. It's going to be this row right here. So look at this. If I go into an application, I get my taskbar at the bottom. These are my apps right over here, and these are my recently used apps. So you can fully customize the taskbar, and also from the taskbar, you are able to access all your other applications. So if you want to use another application like this one and want to do a multi-screen, split screen multitasking, you can do that right from there. And if you do have split screen multitasking, you can also pull it from the bottom, and you can even add another one if that's what you need. So you can grab one more and put it right here. Now I have 3 applications side by side, and I can do multitasking. But that's great. I do want to show you how to customize the actual taskbar. So what you do is you go into your settings right over here, okay? Scroll down and go to display. Scroll down and go over to taskbar right here. You can see you can turn that on and off. If you don't want it, if I tap on this one, it'll just disappear, okay? So I want it because I just like the way this is. Additionally, I can remove the 3 most used recent apps from here by turning this off. Now I only have my regular applications. Also, when I tap this and activate that, I can tap this and I can go from up to 2 apps to 3 apps to 4 apps, and these are recently launched applications. Separated by this line over here, I have the other applications. Now look at these guys. I'm going to show you guys how to customize this. So again, if I go out here, let's say I want to add additional applications to this bar. Remember, let me show you. If I launch, this row of applications is the exact match for this row of applications. So if I add additional applications right here, total I can have 8 applications. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. I cannot add any more, as you can see. Okay? But now when I launch an application, I have total of 8 applications. So you can make sure that over here you actually have the apps that you really need to have. And it's great because for multitasking, it's as easy as just dragging and dropping and doing a quick split screen multitasking, or even more if you need to add additional apps. So make sure you customize the taskbar to your liking. Fantastic. Let's move on. Now I will show you one more thing. You can see I have my buttons right over here, okay? So I have the button view. You can disable the buttons and get swipe gestures. So some people prefer that. So I'm going to go to my settings. I'm going to go to my display. I am going to go over to my navigation bar. I'm going to switch over to swipe gestures. And now what happens is, look at this. When you switch to swipe gestures, the app drawer, the navigation bar disappears. You just get this line at the bottom, so I can go out like this, okay? However, if you want to access the navigation bar, you can pull up from outside the perimeter of this line. So if I swipe up from here, I can still access my navigation bar. It looks a little bit cooler and different, as you can see. And I can use it as I need it, as you can see. Okay, the same way, but it's just a little bit different than the button view. I prefer the button view, but you can have the swipe gestures, no problem. Now this device is perfect for media consumption, especially in the tablet form factor. So let me show you a couple things you can do to maximize your multimedia experience. Number one, you want to go to your settings, okay? You want to go over to advanced features right here, scroll down, and make sure the video brightness effect is actually turned to bright. You can have it at normal if you want, but that's not good enough. The bright just makes watching videos and movies superior. So it says it increases the screen brightness and make colors more vibrant when you watch videos, and you can apply it to specific installed applications. So if I have YouTube, Google TV, or Prime Video installed, I can enable or disable for specific applications. But I always have it enabled and most apps turned on. You will see the difference when you watch a movie without the bright and with the bright enabled. So that's for enhanced video quality. What about sound? You have stereo speakers. So let's get the best sound. So in the settings, go over to sounds and vibration. Scroll down and go to sound quality and effects. And then make sure Dolby Atmos is enabled. Okay? This is going to give you that surround sound-like experience. Again, when you're watching movies, listening to video or voice, you can do it manually if you want, or you can do auto. The phone will choose for you. Now, sometimes the auto doesn't work perfectly, so I like to choose it manually. But to make it even more easy, you can actually access it right here from the corner, pull down, and that's going to bring the quick toggles. Here's my volume slider. I can press and hold on it, and I'm able to access Dolby Atmos right here to quickly modify it based on my needs, okay? Without having to dig into the menu. So that's a fantastic option. So again, you can press and hold and get additional settings. You can also press and hold on the brightness slider and get additional settings if you want, okay? You can also press and hold on the icon and go into the actual display settings, as you can see. So there's a lot of things you can do in the quick toggles here as well. Guys, you'll be using the display on this phone a lot, especially the inner display. It's a very bright display that could cause a lot of eye strain unless you take some steps. So let me show you what to do to minimize the eye strain without losing too much quality of the display. So go to your settings and go to your display. And this is especially true when you're using your phone at nighttime. Obviously, you want to keep it at dark mode. That just reduces the eye strain. Now, I prefer the light mode just for the videos. But here's what you want to do. You want to scroll down, and you do want to enable adaptive color tone. That does adjust the colors and the white balance, so things look a little bit more natural. But the most important one is this one. the Eye Comfort Shield. Now when you enable this, it changes to using warmer colors, and also it limits blue light production that creates a lot of eye strain, especially at nighttime. You can see I have it set up on a custom schedule. So basically it turns on at a specific schedule that I set. So 11 p.m. I know that I'm about to go to bed. I'm going to start looking at the screen a lot more. I want to make sure at that time the Eye Comfort Shield gets enabled. And the custom one for me is the best. Now I'll show you. If I just say always on, you can see the difference. So I can do the color temperature. This is strain on the eyes. And the more you increase the color temperature, this is reduced strain on the eyes. And of course, you can also enable enhanced comfort for even further reduction of eye strain. But in my case, like I said, I keep it somewhere here at the 75% range. And also, I do enable a schedule. Some people do sunset to sunrise. I do custom. You pick a start time and you pick an end time and you tap on done, and it's going to activate automatically between those times. Now, one more thing I want you guys to do with your battery is go to your settings, and this is going to be very important for people that are thinking of keeping the phone for a long time. So go over to device care right here and then go to battery. And then you'll see the battery protection option. You can turn this on, and what I recommend is I recommend basic protection. Maximum is for people that just want ultra long battery durability. So you want to keep this phone for 5 years, you want to maximize the battery life, you can do maximum and maybe keep it at 85%. That means the phone stops charging at 85%. That will prolong your battery's lifespan, but it's going to reduce the battery's daily life because it doesn't charge all the way up to 100. But believe it or not, it actually protects the battery for longevity. So it's up to you. I just do basic with the adaptive protection turned on, and that also extends the battery's lifespan. So again, it's not that important if you are somebody that just trades in your phone every year. You can just turn this off. But again, if you're going to keep this for 4 or 5 years, boom. All right, let's move on. All right, guys, so that brings us to the end of this video. These are some of the first things you want to do to enhance your ownership. But of course, we're going to have even more. So stay subscribed. We're going to get you guys more tips and tricks and features. Any questions? Drop below. For now, have a fantastic day.